Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Manlius, and today we are doing another hopefully relaxing hunt, the Park Fernando. Now, this park is a very diverse environment full of different sort of wetlands and forest, as well as home to some very gorgeous lavender fields, but also a host to different types of animals. Now, we did camp out overnight just so we can stage our hunting ground the day prior and then get some much needed rest. As you can see, we do have a new companion, and this is Kira. Kira is a very, very young black lab who is just as excited as she is a very good girl. And she'll be joining us today because we are going to be trying to hunt some waterfowl. Now, before we head out there, let's come back inside our tent and see what we'll be hunting today. Now, the Park Fernando is home to some familiar animals as well as some new ones as well. And one that you may be familiar with is the axis deer, known for their white spots and small stature. These deer, they like to be in large groups, but are sedentary in the warmer seasons, and they remain skittish and alert. They like to be in dense forest and thicketed grasslands. They possess a strong sense of smell and hearing and good eyesight. The group size is highly dependent on the seasons and the availability of the forage. Large groups primarily consist of females, most active in the morning, dusk, and until evening. They require a class 3 ammo. Uh, and one that may be new to us is the black buck. And these are some medium sized antelope known for their twisted horns and their black and white markings. Um, their behavior is mainly sedentary, but they may move longer distances in search of water and forage. They're also extremely fast. They prefer to prefer to habitate forests and grasslands where water is perennially available. They have excellent vision, good sense of smell, but otherwise poor hearing. They socialize in mixed herds as well as bachelor herds, which are mainly male or young male herds, and they fluctuate based on the availability of food. They're active throughout the day and typically take long breaks during the hottest hours, so around 3 p.m., and they require a class 3 ammunition. And one that you've been hearing quite frequently now is the cinnamon teal. And you can hear them. They are going quite bonkers. As you can see, I think Kira is scaring them away, and that's okay. Um, because we'll try and snag a couple of these while we're down here. They're calm and very social. They inhabit, like most waterfowl, swamps, ponds, lakes, and rivers. They have a very good sense of hearing, okay sense of vision, and poor sense of smell. They socialize in mixed groups with one dominant male, but sometimes remain solitary. They're most active during the dawn, early morning, and at night, and only need a class 1 ammo. So we have plenty to go around here, and I think we will stage into our waterfowl blind. Now, as you can see, we're going to have her stay back and lay down, and we'll pull out our duck collar and see if we can't attract more. Um, and these ducks are are kind of impressive in their in that they get their moniker from their cinnamon. We maybe just be a tad too close to the water. Um, but we do have some. Let's see if we can lure them in. And here we go. That looks like a couple of females. Let's see if we can observe any that we want. Cinnamon teal. And we got one. Outstanding. And what we can do is get Kira to try and retrieve that for us. Let's see if she does it. There she goes. Let's see if Kira, I think you're going the wrong way, girl. Um, you may have to help her out because she is still young, and that she may not be as agile. See if she needs a little help. She is swimming, as you can see her out there, but going just a bit too far. So let's go ahead and bring her back in. And we'll just get this duck on our own. Okay. So we got a gold for that one. And it's a male at about half a kilo. And I heard something potentially concerning um that could be a puma. Now, we came prepared. Let's go ahead, some praise, and give a treat as well. And we will play because we want her to be at her best. Okay. As I was saying, there is a predator in the park, Fernando, that we have to be very careful of, and that is the. Let's see if she retrieved it, and that is the puma, or mountain lion, or cougar, whichever you are accustomed to. And we won't taxidermize it; we'll just accept it. And there she is going for a swim again. Okay, so we got some XP. And we're gonna have her come back here. And we'll have her lay down. And we'll see if we can't get us another duck. So, but we have to be very careful because we are causing hunting pressure in this area. And when that happens, they will be more likely to avoid it in the future. But while we wait, let's see what other animals are going to appear. So The cinnamon teal, we just were lucky enough to get one. And then we have um the find it, the mule deer. And this is a much fuzzier deer, as you can see, but also a much larger deer that can get into lengths of up to 2.1 meters and over 1 meter tall. They're calm in their behavior. They prefer plains, forests, and grasslands. They have an excellent sense of hearing and smell, with overall decent visual sense. They're common herds in the winter, but are segregated male and female populations in spring. They're most active dawn to dusk and require a class 5 ammo. Then we have the puma. Now, we have to be very careful about the puma because it is a stalking animal and can overwhelm us very quickly. They're extremely aware and sensitive. All possible regions in the home range is where they can habitat at, meaning that we are bound to run into them at any point. They have excellent sense of hearing, smell, and vision. They're highly solitary, so we'll only typically find them alone and occasionally in small groups, but with only the mother and these six young cubs. They're most active from dusk till dawn and require a class 5 ammo. One that I would like to see is the large red deer that can get up to almost 240 kilograms. They're docile and not aggressive. They prefer forests and mountainous terrain and have a very good sense of smell. They're sometimes solitary, but may live in larger groups and active during dawn and dusk. These require a class 6 ammo. And then finally, we're going to be on the lookout for the water buffalo. Now, these are huge creatures, and with their massive size comes a very massive behavior. They are aggressive and territorial. They like their swamps, floodplains, and marshes, and they possess an excellent sense of smell with a great sense of hearing and movement, but still vision is quite bad. So as long as we remain still in their area, we will be all right. They tend to prefer mixed groups with a higher population of females and some bachelor groups. They're most active in the morning and evening and require a large class 9 ammo, which is great because for this hunt, we brought with us the relic drilling rifle. Now, this is an interesting weapon because it has two side by side 16 gauge shotgun barrels on top of a powerful 9.3 by 7.4 big game cartridge. And this is going to be advantageous to us because we brought both of those rounds in case we end up coming across a water buffalo. And of course, we have our trusty binoculars, our rangefinder, as well as our duck collar, which you previously heard, and our cinnamon teal decoys. And with that, we have a herd of birds. And let's see if we can't get a couple of those suckers. Outstanding. And I think we may have exhausted everything for here right now. We still have a low hunting pressure. Let's get Kira to retrieve those for us. It's just so we can keep her amused and preoccupied. It's like most black labs, they want to hunt. Fantastic, Kira. And we will give her much deserved praise. We got a gold for that one. Outstanding. Getting a little bit of cash, which is great too. And we're going to set that. We're not going to save it or taxidermize it. And she brought us our second one. I do like the look of this one though. But that cinnamon plumage, I don't know, it just looked much better than the last. We did get a gold rating and a little bit of cash is fantastic. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll pack up and we completed a mission as well. That's fantastic. I got a little bit of shotgun score and a cash reward. Okay. And I think what we're going to do is try and track down some deer. Um, and with that, I think we'll hold on to our Grelic. Um, but we won't need the decoys anymore. Um, what we will bring with us is our deer collars. Let's see. We'll bring our red deer collar. Also, was our red deer scent? And we'll give our Fox Pro a try. Okay. Accept that mission. And we'll put our scope on and switch to our rifle. And we have a mule deer mating call in the distance. Let's see if we can spot it. And those ducks sure are coming back. I don't see that mule deer, so what we'll do is we'll continue to clean up our campsite. And there it goes. It was hiding behind the brush. We have a lovely sunrise here in the park for Noto. I'm going to go ahead and put our waterfowl blind away. And what we can do is I would like to take a tripod stand with us, but I don't think we'll have enough considering we're bringing our tent, but that's okay. Maybe we can find a new camping ground. And I think we'll do just that. I think this is an area worth exploring. Um, let's try and make our way down south. So we'll place a waypoint and we'll follow that. But first, I just want to get a good glimpse of this. I think this is a lovely sight. All right. So, unlike most hunts, we actually were able to get something quite early on. But we'll see what else we come across. We have a mule deer mating call. And let's make sure we have our red deer collar on. We'll put our tent in the 0. We'll put our scent on. Switch those. Put that there. And we'll and it looks like we have a potential herd of red deer that just went past us. Let's see if they left any tracks that we could. I don't believe that was a puma. They seemed much too large. Maybe it was some water buffalo. Oh, wow. We could absolutely try and get a water buffalo on our way to that waypoint. We do have the rifle for it as the Relic Sports Class 9 ammunition. This looks like a wonderful place to. That's right. Okay. Let's just go back the air. I never tell if it's the dog or if it's a stalking animal. But I think Kira will let us know if there's any predators around. Okay, let's continue. There's a hunting structure that we can build as well, which may very well be beneficial to us. Because this is a very large open plain that we can. Some ducks flying across the sky. We're just going to slowly make our way through. What do we have here? Some mule deer hooves, as well as a warning call of a mule deer as well. And I don't particularly see. That's okay. I think we'll have an opportunity here soon enough to have a chance to hunt some. And we have a puma making a warning call. Very close. Okay. So we're going to keep our distance. Because they can come at us very, very fast. And much like the lion, I hope we do not have an unfortunate encounter with it. And we're almost to our new hunting ground, and I think Kira was relieving herself in the bushes there. We're almost to our new hunting ground, and it sounded like I heard the bellow of a water buffalo. We have some black buck in the area. Okay. Let's see what this feeding ground is. And the collared peccary. Okay. A small hog-like creature. And one that we might also try and hunt. We have the black buck trotting its way to our next hunting ground. And there's that buffalo making that warning call. And it is actually kind of close for us, the rifle that we're equipped. So let's see if we can get up here to this hill without making too much more noise and see where that water buffalo could be. Because we are going up on a lake, and I think this would be a great place to hunt. The cinnamon teal letting us know that they are en masse. And the collared peccary is making a mating call. Okay. All right, I think this looks like a wonderful spot to set up camp. Um, I think what we'll do is we'll set up our camp here because we do have a lot of water buffalo around. I may move it somewhere else because that looks like a feeding zone and don't want to get caught. The feeding zone or resting zone of an animal that could potentially be dangerous. So what I'll do is we'll take out our tent and we'll see if we can't hide it in this brush if it lets us, or at least close by. Maybe next to this tree. But I don't want to be in the way of anything to move here. Okay. So we'll put it right there. And let's go ahead, get a stand out. Put that, R7. Find a suitable tree at the edge. Right here would be fantastic. Let's see. I can... So it should let me... May not be able to. It may be just far too high. Fortunate. Well, no matter. We'll try and find another tree. Or I'll probably have to take out my actual stand, which I think may be a better call here. Only because we can use this to the brush to our advantage. Let's see. I think this open field may be a great place to put down our Fox Pro. and see what we can lure in. And hopefully the presence of our tent won't be distracting to some of these creatures. And I would like to put it in an area that provides some sort of concealment. That isn't just right there, smack in the middle, but I may have to. Okay, that may be the best that we. Um, and I think this is great because it gives us a nice 360 view of any potential animals to come our way. Let's go ahead and bust out the 60. Let's try and get a uh, red deer and let's see if we can attract a mule deer as well. And potentially we may be able to get some water buffalo our way. Um, it's still early in the morning at 0740, so we do have the potential to attract some buffalo. What I fear though is we are far too out in the open to be considered camouflage. Um, if I think if we are quiet enough, that would be negligible. And we do have, wow, look at the horns on that red deer. Let's see if I can line up a shot. Um, we'll do our call and try and bring it to us. And we'll spray as well. We have some other animals joining us, and I want to keep reapplying this scent. We're going to have Kira lay down where she's at. I know. Have a mating call. We can call it a Picari. And I'd rather not miss the opportunity to take that deer. And we're going to keep using our call as well. And just see what else comes our way. Um, let's see how close we can get to that water line without spooking it. So he's sitting at about 213 meters. And let's try and get close. Wow. Okay. We spooked some ducks, but that's okay. All right. I think this may be the best chance. So we are to. And hopefully that shot was enough. And let's start tracking our prey. I worry that I may have aimed too far forward. Um, but I'm hoping that the power of the Grelic will compensate. And we found a popular drinking zone for red deer and axis deer. All right. Let's see. Our deer. I saw it sprint up here, but I don't see any blood. So let's just go ahead and see if we can find out where it indeed went to. Those tracks lead away. The tracks that are moving forward into this hill zone. We do have a puma around too to remove our scope just in case. This may be our deer. It is hard to tell since we don't have any blood splatter, but that seems about right too. 210 kilos for that large of a deer. Some axis deer back there running away. And I think we'll start tracking this one. Oh, we do have blood. Okay. I did manage to hit it, but at a very low bleed rate, meaning I probably didn't hit the organs like I wanted. It's okay. We do see a puma over there. It's something to be mindful of. And that deer does have the potential to come back. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. It's the frightening sound of the axis deer. Okay. Deer is still bleeding. We'll keep following this blood trail. It erratically jumped through this area. And what we're gonna wait for is another potential warning call, and that will know that we are in area. Looks like it's going this direction. Then cut up here. This deer is really something. And it's still running, which is quite impressive considering that it has a wound. And the irregularity of its movement patterns would suggest that that's what we were waiting for. All right, we still have our scent. And we have our red deer collar. I don't see anything immediately. And this deer could have very well bled out. Because that bleed rate is still going down. I hope our trail doesn't end here. It doesn't. Still quite close to it. And it is still on the run, impressively. See if we can get a response. Reapply. Still at a very low bleed rate. And that was a mule deer. Still on the run. This thing is tenacious, to say the least. Make a little bit of noise to see if we can try and figure out. Oh, it looks like we did manage to take it down. Wonderful. And let's look at our trophy. Okay. So we have a male red deer at 209 kilograms, rather large. Brown fur type, so a normal fur type. Very hard difficulty, and we will be able to harvest his antlers and skull. We did unfortunately only get a silver trophy rating because we did not hit any vital organs. We will get about 979 in cash and a touch of XP. Um, let's inspect and see exactly where our round went. Okay, so unfortunately, we did not have enough penetration at that distance to break through that scapula and into the lung. I should have aimed farther back from that and would have been dead set. The ideal place to hit it, other than head on, would have been right above where that knee is. But in any case, I think we're going to save that harvest and replace it with something um not as cool, which is probably going to be our spring hawk. We'll overwrite that and outstanding. Well, fantastic. And I think Kira deserves a treat for her work as well. All in all, I'd say that was a rather successful hunt. And we got a couple of ducks, and we got a fantastic red deer. I hope you enjoyed that hunt today, and I really do hope to see you on the next one. I appreciate you stopping by, and we will see you later.